The giants are the key to defeating Imu-sama. In the recent manga chapter, we even saw the young trio of Garp, Sengoku, and Tsuru. They were talking to Kong, who at that time was still just an admiral. The three of them were pitching to Kong how much help the giants could bring to the ranks of the Marines. According to Tsuru, once Rox D. Zebec acquires the power of the giants from Elbaf, it would surely spell the end of the Marines. So, this statement from Tsuru about how crucial an alliance with the giants of Elbaf is to an individual or a group isn't the first time this has been mentioned. All throughout the story of One Piece, this idea has been brought up multiple times, the idea that a nation or a group becomes far stronger once they ally with the giants of Elbaf. For example, there's Big Mom's statement in chapter 847. She mentioned to Nami that if Lola's marriage with Loki had actually pushed through, and she gained the alliance of the giants of Elbaf, then for sure she would have been able to topple Kaido, Shanks, and Whitebeard. That's how extreme Big Mom's claim was regarding the power of the giants of Elbaf. She believed she could bring down her fellow emperors with their help. And this claim isn't just some nonsense or delusional idea from Big Mom, because if there's any character who knows the giants best outside of Elbaf, it would definitely be Big Mom. After all, we know that at some point she stayed in Elbaf and interacted with the giants there. Another example is Rox D. Zebec. In the recent chapters, Oda has been making it very clear how desperate Zebec was to gain the alliance of King Harold. If we add it all up, he had been courting Harold for 6 years just to make him his ally. And when the time finally came that Harold mentioned his desire to ally with the power of the Marines, it was very clear from Zebec's face how disappointed he was. So why exactly did Zebec want to ally himself with the giants of Elbaf? Because from his very own mouth he said that the key to toppling Mary Joyce was none other than Elbaf itself. And lastly, another example is the world government. According to St. Summers in chapter 1147, one of the reasons they are currently in Elbaf is to turn the giants into battle trolls, or simply put, to force them into becoming servants of the world government. But since Elbaf has no clear leader at the moment, the Holy Knights are confused about who exactly they should negotiate with. So based on all the examples I've mentioned, Oda is clearly emphasizing just how important the power of the giants is when it comes to war. In other words, whichever side has the giants as allies will almost certainly have a huge chance of winning the war. Now this makes us wonder, if the giants can truly contribute such an immense advantage to any nation or group, then why didn't the world government act on this much earlier? Why didn't they immediately try to force Elbaf into an alliance from the very beginning? After all, we even saw how King Harold was practically begging the world government to accept them as allies. Shouldn't that have been enough for the world government to accept him without any argument or conditions? The answer to this question can be summed up in one word: confidence. Yes, the world government, specifically Imu-sama, is confident that they can defeat anyone. We even saw how Imu instantly turned the giants of Elbaf upside down with his dome reversal ability. Meaning, from Imu's point of view, the giants of Elbaf are not a threat to him. Since he believes he can easily handle them, the real question now is, why is Imu suddenly trying to make the giants of Elbaf his allies? Why did he even come here in the first place? The answer lies in the fact that the current successor of the sun, Luffy, is here on the island of Elbaf, because Imu already has knowledge of the Great War that happened 800 years ago during the Void Century, and most likely knows that the giants of Elbaf once allied with Joy Boy back then. He understands very well what will happen once the two sides come together again. In fact, Gorosei Saturn even mentioned this when he saw Brogy and Dory standing alongside Luffy. He said that the combination of the Sun God and the giant is a dangerous mix for the world government. So since Luffy only recently awakened his god form during the Wano arc, this was the moment when the world government finally decided to make their move. It's only now that they've realized that once the giants of Elbaf become Luffy's allies, they will truly have a serious fight on their hands against the world government. If we think about it, the world government's attempt to prevent Luffy from allying with the giants of Elbaf might actually lead to their downfall instead of preventing it. This has always been the pattern. If you remember during the Wano arc, the world government wanted to stop Luffy from awakening his devil fruit. But ironically, they were the ones who ended up helping him awaken Gear 5. What I'm referring to is that moment when a CP agent intervened in the fight between Luffy and Kaido. Instead of ensuring Luffy's death, that very interference became the key for Luffy to awaken his devil fruit. This is very similar to what's happening now in the Elbaf arc. In Imu's desire to prevent an alliance between the giants and Luffy, it actually looks like it will result in an even stronger bond between the two. And if we think deeper about it, if the giants of Elbaf are truly that powerful, then why don't they just storm Mary Joyce and directly fight the world government? The simple answer is, they have no reason to. Why would they attack Mary Joyce if, from their point of view, the world government hasn't done anything against them? And now, because of the Holy Knights, assault together with Imu, they've actually given the giants a reason to fight back. Their attempt to kidnap the 10 young giants, burn down the library and school, and harm other giants. Do you really think Elbaf will just turn a blind eye to what the world government has done to them? Of course not. This will surely lead to a firm alliance between Elbaf and the Straw Hat Pirates, an alliance strong enough to bring down the world government. And just as Zebec once said, if it's true that the giants are the key to toppling Mary Joyce, then it seems that key is now in Luffy's hands. The fate of the world rests with him. It all depends on him to defeat the strongest enemy, the one who is recognized as the current king of the world, Imu-sama.